What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, my name is G, and today we have another news report in regards to the whole fiasco regarding the whole vaccination mandates that's going on in the state. But before we do get into that story, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder. If you want to support me or the channel, you can do so by simply giving this video a like. That would greatly help me with the YouTube's algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Again, I do post content on a daily basis, and you can always unsubscribe at any time. But with that being said, let's get straight to the topic of the video. So for a lot of us who haven't, basically has been keeping track of what's going on with the news, especially with the whole vaccination mandate that President Joe Biden actually signed into law. For those that haven't been living under a rock, you guys will know that there's been quite a few instances where things haven't been really going as according to plan, especially when it comes to restaurants that require their patrons to show proof of vaccination. A lot of the times, these patrons somehow are just still giving them a hard time, even when it's something that's kind of already been posted everywhere. A lot of people are kind of standing against it, saying that it's their right to not get vaccinated. And on today's story, I have one specifically in regards to an incident that took place in a Californian popular restaurant called Chicken and Waffles. This is in regards to an anti-mask protest that actually happened right outside the restaurant, which according to the article here, again, like whenever it comes to like any news stories, I always leave the link to the articles in the description so you guys can read along for yourselves. But just the cliff notes here, because it is a little bit of a lengthy post here. They go ahead and claim that the protests actually started pretty peacefully. The statements from the owners say here that they are completely they completely welcome any type of peaceful protest. After all, that is the American way. And then the owner of the restaurant goes on to claim that he has also been a veteran, so he understands what it's like, to protest something peacefully. What they will not tolerate, however, is when they begin to harass their customers and the employees, and they begin to get violent. And this specific incident here, I believe there's an incident when this young man was getting very violent, very I guess just harassing the other customers over there as well as the employees. So the security guard actually took action and dragged this guy out of the restaurant. And basically he's now stating that they're being a little bit too violent, that they're going against everything, like the whole mandates that they're asking for. I do have a clip of an incident that actually took place just shortly after that here. Actually not really in the same scenario, but something similar that happened at a mall in New York City. So again, like always, I will be playing the video here. It is relatively short, so we can just kind of see what exactly goes on, and then we can come back and discuss. So with that being said, here's the short clip, and give me 1 sec. We'll be right back. Alright, so like we saw there, Yeah, so that protest actually happened in the mall in New York City. We saw all those protesters just really just going against the whole mandate, and there's actually, according to this article as well, there was actually a sign that they're stating there that in order to get any access to the food court that's inside the mall, you do have to show proof of vaccination. Again, a lot of the backlash that's really going on, basically going on with the story is that the security guards, as well as the employers and the employees and the restaurant owners, weren't actually stopping these protesters from joining or from getting into the food court in the first place. I just want to kind of offer my kind of bit on this side. It's kind of, I really don't want to kind of take a side, because I definitely understand and I respect everyone's decision of not wanting to get vaccinated. It's completely under their right to not want to do so. But at the same time, I understand where the whole conflict goes with individuals that want these people to get vaccinated, because there's other out there that are prone to get this disease. So I definitely understand both sides. But what I'm trying to get at is where a lot of the criticism really comes from the public is, why didn't the security guards or the employers stop these people from going into the food court in the first place? That answer is pretty simple, man. Like, if there's a group, a group of protesters, like literally storming in there with like signs saying we're not getting vaccinated or anti-masks, whatever, most likely or not, you're probably not going to try to interfere, because most likely they're not going to be in the mood to be, questioned. It's in their rights to, to protest and not, not wanting to wear the mask or not, wanting to get vaccinated. I know a lot of people kind of try to blur the line, saying that it is kind of, the law and all that. It's still technically their own body in a way. Like, you're not going to force someone to take a shot if they don't want to. You're not going to force someone to put a mask on if they don't want to. But then again, if it's under the law, a lot of it really comes to, you kind of have to oblige for what the buildings are asking you to do. But when there's a whole mob of people on there, most likely or not, you're probably not going to want to do that, because it can get pretty nasty and kind of violent. So a lot of that really just came into that the whole situation of people just taking, not really focusing on what the protesters were causing. It was kind of peaceful. They weren't really doing anything overly aggressive, as opposed to the first story that we're covering about the young man that was being just harassing the customers and harassing the employers, and then security obviously had to step in and drag his ass out of the restaurant. And this other situation, they're just being they're being rowdy, but they weren't being physical, right? They weren't insulting anyone. They weren't doing unless you considered them not wearing masks and them not getting vaccinated or not showing their proof of vaccination being aggressive or just violating something, then definitely I guess it really just falls into how someone else's perspective. But definitely it really leaves a lot of room to really debate as to what do you consider to be the right or wrong thing to do, because I know this situation has been very controversial. There's a lot of people that are really against the whole mandate and really against being vaccinated. I personally, I always say, what, as a person, for myself, I would do what's best for myself. And if that means, if I need to get the vaccinated because the vaccine, because I need to protect someone that's, going to be sick or something, if I don't get it, then I'll definitely do so. But if it's really, nothing that's gonna, really affect anybody in my general, vicinity, then I probably wouldn't want to do, because I, personally, I just don't, like taking shots. So that's something that I just probably wouldn't want to do. And, with the whole mask thing, I don't actually mind having a mask on. I don't think it's really a big of an issue for me. I don't really care. But everyone's different, of course. So everyone definitely handles it differently. And I want to hear from you guys. Like, do you guys think these protesters did anything wrong? Do you think the security guards at the mall and the employers should have done a little bit, a better job to try to prevent these individuals from storming into the food court in the first place? definitely let me know. Let's definitely discuss this. I know it's been a very controversial topic. It's been going on in the news in not just one scenario or situation. It's been loads of them. This is just one thing that kind of just got my attention. But definitely let me know, guys. But with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time of your day to watch this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, peace out.